Welcome. In front of me is a Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 FE, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks you can do on this tablet. So to get started, I'm going to begin with the DeX support. Now, saying support, it's kind of weird. Normally on Samsung phones, you can access the Samsung DeX by using a little dongle to HDMI. So I'm going to just grab it quickly so you can see. So usually you need to get something like this, USB-C to HDMI, and you just plug it in and then you can connect your monitor. But on the tablet side, you can access DeX support straight away without actually needing to plug it into anything. Simply select Start and it will turn on a desktop mode. That's basically what it is. Samsung and Huawei are one of the not very many companies that do this, where you have the actual desktop support. It is baked into Android, but it hasn't been really done correctly, or let's call it in a beta state or even alpha, where it doesn't really work too well. But Samsung and Huawei are the two companies that actually have support for it with implementations that have been baked into the actual device. So as you can see, you can resize the windows, move them around, and it does in a way behave like a normal desktop. And now, obviously, the benefit right here for something like that would be with a phone, I would consider a little bit better than with a tablet. But still, if you're planning to use this with a tablet, you are free to do so. You can just have it open at any point. When you're using this with a phone as an example, or just a docked, let's call it in a docked way, with something like this, you have option to, for instance, also plug in things like a mouse, keyboard, and the external display, so you can just use this as a computer standalone. And like I mentioned, with the phone it might be a little bit better because you can have a phone just for work that you can just put in your pocket, and you don't need to carry a laptop or something like that. You just come to work, slap it on the charger with the cable, and you have access to basically mouse, keyboard, desktop mode, and all that. But still, it's nice that you can access it here, and it works fairly nice. Now to leave this, let's go find the text, turn it off, and it will go back to normal. Now the next thing I will show you is just a simple dark mode. This obviously turns on, like I would mention, dark mode. Nice percentage right here. So we can turn it on by going into the settings and display, and you will have the toggles right here from light to dark. You can choose which one you want, and this will permanently stay on. Or you can also navigate to the dark mode settings, which will allow you to set it up as a turn on as schedule. And we have sunrise to or sunset to sunrise, which will keep it during the daytime on a light mode, and during nighttime it will switch it to dark mode. Now this is a really nice feature, which I highly recommend actually utilizing. Now moving on to the next one, it's going to be the screen mode, which again, it's under the display section right here. You just simply scroll down a little bit and you can see it right here. By default, Samsung always puts it in a vivid mode, which if you look at some pictures like this one, you also max out the brightness just so it looks a little bit more vivid. This might be a little bit too much. There we go. I think that looks good. So as you can see right here, some of those colors are not too natural looking. Specifically right here, as you can see, the oranges and grapefruits are, on the camera, it doesn't look as bad as it does when you look at the actual display in person. This looks like it's radioactive, basically. I'm just kind of joking at this, obviously, but these colors are way too saturated. They're almost glowing. So to be, in my preference, natural selection right here tones down the colors a little bit, making them a little bit more reasonable. I can see a difference between them. I actually managed to swap them quickly, so you can see clear difference right here, where the colors aren't as vibrant and overdone as they are with vivid mode. Now in certain cases, for instance like right here with the Aurora Borealis, it looks a little bit more dull. Now on the camera I can barely see the difference, to be honest, but when you're looking at this, the natural has a little bit more of what I'd call like a greenish tint to it. It looks better, as a more realistic, but obviously the Vivid will have a nicer look to it just because it has more colors to something that doesn't really have as much naturally. So like I mentioned, it might look better in certain cases, like natural might look better right here, but with an example like this one, Vivid will look better. But personally, I do prefer natural, and if you're the same way, then there you go, just switch it here and you're done. Now, moving on to the next option, it's going to be navigation bar, which actually was also under the display. So I'm gonna go back here. There we go, display. And you will have the navigation bar right here. And you can switch it from the actual buttons that you have at the bottom to swipe gestures. So let's tap on this, give it a second, and there we go. As you can see, it substitute them for this small little bar right here, which you swipe up to go home, swipe up and hold to go to recent, and you can swipe from either side to go back. So there we go, that's basically it, the gesture navigation. You don't need a pen for this, you can also use your finger, just so you know. And moving on to the next option, which might help with a problem that I'm having, which is at least the pen doesn't always like register too well. Like right now it does. As you've seen, I did swipe down and it didn't do anything. So in these settings, I found an option, again under the display. If we scroll down, it was right here, touch sensitivity. So increase the touch sensitivity of the screen for use of the screen protection. Now I don't have any screen protector right here, but hopefully this will resolve my problem where the pen will be always responsive. That's primarily what I'm having problem with, so hopefully this will solve it. Now moving on to the next option, we're now going to touch upon something else located in a different section than just display, and it's going to be located in the sound sections. There's two things that I want to touch upon in there. So let's tap on sounds right here, and if you scroll down, you will have where is it? We have the first option, which is the separate app sounds. So what this allows you to do is assign a specific application to play through specified means. So means what I mean is like Bluetooth or the sound system of the tablet itself. And what will happen is, if as an example you assign a browser to always play through the speakers, even if normally you have your headphones plugged in, connected through Bluetooth, and you turn on browser, it will completely disregard your headphones and play through speakers anyway. Same goes if you, for instance, want to do it the other way around. You have, let's just say that you only want to play through your headphones, and even when they're not connected, the sound won't be coming from the device itself. It will just try to play it through the Bluetooth device that you specified. And all you need to do right here is to turn it on, select, you get to choose which kind of application you want to utilize. So, for example, I'm gonna select YouTube right here. I get to go back, and now I get to select through what kind of means it will be playing. So we can have tablet, which is just the speakers on here, or Bluetooth device, though I don't have anything connected right here. So you could choose whichever one you want, and from that point on, once you set it up, it will play. For example, I'm going to select tablet. YouTube will always play through speakers without any kind of change. If you have anything connected, like your headphones or anything like that, it will completely disregard those and still play through speakers. Now moving on to the second option, this is going to be specifically for people that actually use headphones, some kind of earbuds or anything like this. It is the, where is it? Is it right here? Yep, there we go. So it's sound quality and effects. We have a couple toggles right here. We have the Adobe Atmos and whatever else, but those are not important. It's not like they work in any kind of substantial way. But what you do have right here is at the bottom, Adapt Sound. When you click on this, we do have a couple presets. So we have off, which that's not what I would recommend. We have the under 30, 30, 60, and over 60. Now quickly just explaining what this is. It's a personalized equalizer based on age. That's as simple as I can explain it. What it does is the preset ones try to have like the general preset of a hearing loss for specific age groups. So under 30, it basically takes, I guess, from everywhere from being born up to 30, though that is questionable, and some people hearing loss might be different than others. For me, it did detect it quite accurately. If I would have to select 30 and under, and then choose as an example my own preset one that was specifically designed for me, it's virtually the same. Now you could stick with the preset ones, but what I do recommend you to do is go through Test My Hearing. Now this will require you to have a relatively quiet environment and headphones in. You cannot set this up without any headphones. So as an example, if you try to set it up using the speakers on here, it will not allow you to. You need to literally connect headphones to it, or Bluetooth ones or wired ones, it doesn't really matter. And at that point, once you connect it and you go through the test, it will give you, for instance, just kind of like sound, and all you need to do is select if you can hear it or not. And it will play it either on left or right one. It's completely random. It doesn't really let you know which one it plays it on specifically, so you don't have like the placebo effect. So you just select if you can hear it or not. And you do want to set it up accurately. You don't want to select, for instance, that you can hear something that you can't. It literally defeats the purpose of this at that point. So just go through it, crank up the volume on it, and just go through the sounds and select if you can hear them. Obviously, for hearing loss, it doesn't really matter how much you crank it up. If you can't hear that sound frequency anymore because of your age, it doesn't matter how loud it will get. And the sounds that it does produce right here are super faint, so even like having something like a faint music running in the background as an example, and in your room or something like that, might affect if you can hear that sound or not, because those are like super subtle beeps and whines that you will have to select if you can hear or not. And once you go through the entire thing, I think there's like 20 of those that it will play. It will create an equalizer based on your choices and boost up certain things, certain sound frequencies to accommodate for your hearing loss. So from there you will have another option which you can select, and you'll get the best basically audio that you can. So anyway, moving on to the next option, it's going to be the side panel for specifically the pen, which, there we go, it just appeared. So this little dot right here that appears when you, I guess, interact with the display. And you can hold this, and as you can see, it brings up a couple options. We have create a note, we have view all notes, smart select, screen write, and so on. We have a couple ones that I would consider fairly useful for quick access. As an example, create a note. Hello, there we go. Now it does sometimes get a little bit messy when you put your hand on here, but as you can see, it does work. So there we go. You can save it, close it. There we go. Additionally, we have things like Smart Select, which allows you to select a portion of a screen, which I believe is a portion. Let's see. Yep, there we go. As you can see, there's a little outline, so when I drop it, it will select only this part, and I can save it if I want to. There we go. So there we go. Now another thing that I wanted to show you is this side panel right here, which is accessible without a pen, which you can do with your finger. And this will bring up the panel. Now Samsung has gimped it a little bit since like way back in the day, where there was several pages to this. So nowadays, if you want to add more pages, you need to actually add them yourself by, as you've seen, just tapping right here and selecting edit. Actually, this will allow you to add more apps to this first page. But if we go back, see all apps. Nope, not that. Should be a way to actually access these settings, if I actually can find it. Okay, there we go. So edge panels, it looks like it's under the display section. For some reason, we cannot access the settings from here anymore. I don't know why. But yeah, from here, once you find it in the display edge panel, you can tap on it, and in here obviously you can turn it off if you don't want it, but you can also add a couple additional panels. So right, by default we have only apps. As you can see, we have plethora of other ones to choose from that are already installed, so you can see them. And you can also access a store, although I'm not connected to network, so I won't be able to. But you could access a store, and in the Galaxy Store, you will find plenty of other ones that you might find useful. Now, keep in mind, some of those will be paid for some stupid reason, considering you already paid a premium price for a tablet, and now you get to pay more for something that comes incorporated with the device instead of actually letting you download it for free. But who am I to actually judge this? Microtransactions. So yeah, you can find some good ones. Some of them are free on the store, though probably ones that are like decent and usability will require you to pay for them. Truth be told, they're not expensive. They're like 99 cents or something along those lines, so it's not gonna make you go bankrupt from this. But still, the fact that you need to pay those 99 cents, it's cheap, but like the fact that you need to pay for it is just stupid. So yeah, but still, maybe you can find something that you will find useful in there as well that is free. So highly recommend checking it out. And anyway, this would conclude the tweaks and tricks that I want to share with you. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.